This is going to be a series of videos on how to use the Arduino Explorer and the challenges that we have given to our students here at St. Mary's. One of the first things I want to do is run through how to actually use the software and the Arduino Explorer. You don't need one to do this. I'm just going to show you what I've encountered as far as errors go for students that they tend to have a problem and they seek guidance on what to do. So the first thing we need to do is open up the software. Now, my software is located in a different spot. Some people have it already installed here, like the Arduino IDE, which is this one on here, or you can navigate your way to your folder where it is. Mine's on my OneDrive, and I double click on that piece of the executable. Now, what we have here is the software. Now, if I was to run this piece of code on, this is called a sketch, and this is the code. This is the start where it has void setup and void loop. If I run that by pressing this button, I'm immediately going to get an error. The reason being is that I don't have an Explorer connected, and so I'm going to run through how to connect an Explorer first of all, and then I'm going to show you some of the common errors. So here you can see red error, couldn't find the board on the selected port. That's because there's not a board connected. So what I'm going to do is connect an orange cable, and you might be able to hear me doing that, into my laptop. Then I'm going to take an Explorer and I'm going to connect it up. Now this one's got no code on it, so it won't make any noises, but yours probably will because you'll have previous students doing stuff. And you hear that, hopefully you can hear that noise that it's connected. And the first thing that I need to do is go to Tools, and I need to check and choose the board. So most of the time it's Arduino Uno, which is the one that it checks. And then we need to go down and choose the Arduino Explorer. And then we need to choose the port. So we go to Tools again and we go down to Port. Now sometimes what you'll find is it'll have a list of serial ports and it'll say COM1, COM3, and not Arduino Explorer in brackets. If you choose that one, that means that your Explorer is not connected. And so you need to make sure that you choose the one that has the Arduino Explorer in brackets. Now, for Apple users, it looks a little bit different, but it does have Arduino Explorer in the line. The line actually is a big long line, and it says USB, and then it says Arduino Explorer. So check and make sure that you choose that one. So that's all good. Now, the other thing we need to do is we need to tell the computer that we're going to use an Explorer. So what we do is we say hashtag, which is Shift3, and we say include, and then we do a greater than sign, and we say Explorer, and we have a capital E, full stop, H, and then close that bracket off. Now, if I check that, I'm just going to verify it by clicking the tick. It'll come up and do you want to save this? Now, I always save it. A lot of students I find just go, no, I don't want to save it, or they choose cancel. I always save mine. You can see all my sketches, these are way back in December, March, and today's date, which is March the 20th. So I'm just compiling the sketch, done compiling, and you'll see there are no red errors. Now, in here would be an error if I did something wrong. For example, let's say I spelt Explorer wrong and I ran or verified or ran that code or I uploaded it. You can see that there's a red error, no such file or directory. Now, students tend to see that red error and say, oh no, I've made a big mistake, and they raise their hand. And it's just something as simple as maybe they took out one of these curly braces or didn't add one, or didn't open or close it, or their code was down here, or they've just simply spelt Explorer wrong. I do that all the time. I get these two wrong, around the wrong way, and you can tell that you've done it right by what happens in the code. You can see that it goes orange or reddish or brownish color there. So that's the way that sometimes we can fix our errors. I'm going to, throughout the course of these videos, I will show you some of the errors that are occurring, but they're the first main three. And in our booklet, it has, on one of the pages, it explains the three common errors, and those are the three common errors. Didn't write include Explorer.h right at the very top, didn't choose the correct board, which is that one, or they didn't choose the correct port. And so then I have to come along and say, these are the three things that you didn't do, because I can tell just by looking at that. Okay, so the next video, we're going to look at the challenges, and we've got 20 challenges to do, and we're going to go through them one by one.